All right, welcome back, guys. Today we have someone very special. He's like from my college only. He's Dr. Sneh Brambhatt, and he has scored 260 on USMLE Step 1. And it was the very best time, like right from when the USMLE Step 1 was just turning out pass and fail, and he just knocked out USMLE Step 1 with a huge score. First of all, congratulations, Sneh, for this awesome score. How are you feeling about this?
Thank you so much, Dr. Apurva, for this great opportunity to get interviewed with you. I just feel so overwhelmed and great to be on this platform. Thank you so much.
That's very awesome. It's so good to see especially people from our college. They're like who are climbing great heights. So congratulations once again. So Sneh, tell us something about yourself. And everybody wants to know, and everybody is curious that who is the next star of our college.
So hey there, I'm Sneh Brambhatt. I hope you are all doing well. I completed my MBBS from GMERS Medical College Sola, and right now I'm full-time intern at GMERS Sola Civil Hospital, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So that's a thing about me in my free time. I used to read books. People call it self help category, but
Right.
I read those to explore myself. And don't judge me. I'm not a totally nerd. That's an interesting fact about me that I used to watch series and movies in a stretch. You will get
Uh-huh.
amazed, Dr. Apurva, that I took my exam on December 23rd, and on
Uh-huh.
December 21, I watched three movies in one stretch.
Wow, man. So you are inborn talented man. So
No,
that's
no, no,
awesome.
no.
That's
No,
great to know. That's
thank you
great
so
to
much.
know, Sneh. So, how did you end up deciding about like USMLE? So, how did you weigh that? Okay, not neat, but USMLE.
Okay, so story goes back to when I was a medical student. So in first year I failed actually all the exams except the university one. So that reality hit me hard that once I was a student with like in local area I was famous, and in medical school there's like no one cares about you totally. So that reality hits me hard, and I wanted to prove myself somehow. Then I
Right.
came to know about what's the situation of post graduation in India. So I felt it would be better to go like some other country because I wanted to live my life some other ways.
Right.
So I started doing my research. Like I came to know about USMLE, Lab, AMG, etc. And I did my research, but well, finally my final decision came when I talked to my one of the cousin who is my senior too. He is AMG and he is preparing for the USMLE. So
Right.
he cleared my doubts, which the online sites or blogs were not able to. So after
Right.
that, in second year, I finally decided to go for USMLE.
Wow. So you did your enough research about USMLE, NEET, PLAB, and AMC, and finally you came to a conclusion. Okay, that I'll go for USMLE. That's awesome. Like that's how, that's a perfect way of deciding something. Very great. Uh, so so one question which is very important for all the medical students is to like set small goals and like achieve that. So you did an awesome job about setting targets and setting goals and even achieving them. So what advice would you give about like setting up goals?
Okay, so Dr. Apurva, that's the whole science of setting goals, but I won't go into that direction. All I will tell you is when I decided about USMLE, I had all the usual questions that every USMLE aspirant has about cost, about ideal branch, about probability of getting match, and etc. Time and
Right.
timeline.
Right.
So those all questions were in front of me, but what I decided is okay, let's go for small step. That is only let's go for step one. Let's see
Right.
how I perform, and then I'll decide. Because
Wow.
what my personal philosophy is, ki, when you see Mount Everest in front of you don't think of climbing to like direct jumping to the top. It's all about small step, one after one. So I set my goal to step one only.
Wow, that's such an inspiring thing that you just take small baby steps and you
Okay.
achieve them. That's great to know. Even I am learning from you, Dr. Smith. Thanks
And
for that.
actually, I like to tell you that in even step one, I like did not decided any particular score, three-digit score that I want to score this or that. I felt I'm limiting myself by that doing that. So
Wow.
what I decided if we whatever information is coming in front of me, I want to learn it by my heart totally.
Wow.
I don't want like I didn't set any goals in this sports actually.
Wow, wow, wow. That's perfect definition of what do we call as karma yogi in Bhagavad Gita. So that's great to know, Dr. Sneh, about that. So how much did you take? Like, what was your like? How much time did you invest like in your preparation for step one?
I'd say around 2.5 years,
Wow.
but I had my breaks. So I started my preparation around November 2017.
Wow.
Uh, that at that time I started. I'd like to divide my journey into phases. That is like
Mm-hmm.
kind of three phases: the phase of basics, then phase of new world, as you know, and then dedicated phase.
Wow.
So in phase of basics, that was my second year of medical school around November 2017. I did Dr. Najib videos with making notes. Then I did goals and audios and goals and review books. Then usual stuff that is platforma, sketchy, and first aid. And actually, not many people might know this, but I follow Tao's method. That's very old guide for USMLE experience around like 2000 till 2004 or 5.
So
Uh,
which method again? Which method?
Taos, TAUS method, Taos method. That
Oh,
guy, actually, I'll share some of that PDF with you if you can have access to it.
okay.
So it's like very old, but as we know, it is good. So that worked for me actually.
Right, right. Can you tell us more about the Tao's method? I didn't get that.
Okay, so that guy divided everything into every subject into particular sections. He didn't
Right.
follow the first aid pattern. So for every subject, he has one book, and from those books, he compiled everything into one set and doing questions. Like that's usual stuff. So like whole journey of step one, I believe, is about trial and error, whatever works for you.
Perfect. Right, right. That's very great advice. Because some things like which work for us may not work for others. So
Obviously, that's a good
uh,
point.
trial and error like works the best. So how many practice exams did you give, and how about that?
Okay, so after I was about 60% of New World.
Uh huh.
Like I completed 60% of first pass of the New World. I took NBME 60. That was free at that time due to COVID situation because NBME was free. So I took online and actually I failed it. I scored 284. So
Okay.
that was the devastating moment for me. And in other assessment, I failed it too. Then in my journey, I had breaks for university examinations and some personal stuff going on in my life. So after the new NBMS we call it, the NBMS 20 to 24, I was around 40 to 50 corrects. And after, like, I took all the NBMs actually.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
And from NBMS 25 to 30, I was like, I can share my scores with you if you want to. In NBM 25, I scored to 42.
Mm-hmm.
Then in NBM 30, I scored to 46. Then in 27, that was 257. In 29, that was 263. I was damn happy. And
Right.
in 28, it was 256. And
Wow.
like this whole NBM after 25th, I took 8-hour examination every Sunday.
Awesome, awesome. So you had your great practice scores as well, and like, congratulations again. And those practice scores were like predictive about your real scores.
Actually,
So
I forgot to mention that in SA1 I scored 266, and the last exam that I took was SA2, was SA2, and that I scored 260. So that was
perfect.
obviously
That was on dot,
awesome.
man. Awesome, awesome. And you also mentioned about like you managed to prepare your university exams and USMLE simultaneously. So that's a big thing going on with like student, like with
Actually,
Indian students. So what would you advise to manage university exams as well as USMLE?
okay. So actually, as I told you, I started preparing for USMLE in my second year. So I
Right.
managed my second year examination, first examination, and final examination.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, some might get shocked, but after first year of medical school, I did not buy any textbook.
Oh,
I I prepared the whole university examination part through PDF and making notes. On average, I gave around 4 to 6 months, like we can say 4 to 5 months for any university examination.
okay.
Because what I feel is that step one is the exam of basic science.
Right.
So only difference is university examination asks you that info in some way versus USMLE asks that info in another way. But the
Mm-hmm.
basic sciences are very similar. So if you are totally thorough with the concepts, you
Uh-huh.
will able to watch it. And
True.
I actually prepared for my final examination at least for 2.5 months, and I was
Oh,
second. I scored second rank in my college.
wow, man. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
So you nailed both university examinations and USMLE examinations. So
All credit goes to Stephen preparation.
that's true. I mean, like if you just go back and notice the trend, those who have like strong basic science also like tend to perform well in the university exams,
Obviously,
and
obviously.
like and as well as the step one. And so this is like big shout to everyone that if you want to excel in any exam, it's just the basic science you need, whether it's
Yeah.
like USMLE step one or just NEET or next whatever
True,
exam it is.
true.
Okay, perfect. So what one piece of advice would you give to the students who are right now preparing for USMLE Step 1, as it's just converting pass and fail? So what do you have for them?
Okay, so before I go into pass fail, I'd like to tell you like generalized picture about the exam step and examination. Uh, I would not share the academic stuff with you because like there's plenty of information around that how you should be a viewer, how you should be assessments, etc. What I would like to tell you is the first thing which I believe like totally from my heart is people usually manage their time. I used to believe we need to manage our cognition. If I can give the metaphor, every human starts with a limited amount of cognition every day. You can imagine there's a glass of water filled at
Uh-huh.
the start of the day. That's your cognition. So every decision you make after you wake up, whether it is like what clothes you want to wear, what breakfast you want, every like any mental exercise you are doing, you are losing your cognitive energy. And in doing that, we all have felt it. After doing our lunch, we felt so lethargic and we just want to take a nap and we can't actually learn the stuff. So I used to manage my cognition rather than managing my time. That's the
Oh,
first.
nice.
I I get that from a book, Fire and Club. It helped me a lot.
Impressive. So you manage your cognition rather than managing your time. You are saving your cognitive energy. Impressive.
Then other thing I'd like to tell you is step one examination or any step of the USMLE exam. These are not the exam of only medical science. These are the exam of your character and how bad do you want it. I share this with everyone who is appearing for exam. This is not the only exam of medical science. So you need to show a character.
Wow.
Then other thing is in this journey, whoever is preparing for this exam, no one will understand you. Be prepared for it. It's at end of the day, it will be you yourself, mainly your parents. No one else is going to understand you. None of your colleagues, none of your friends. So be prepared for this whole big
Right.
dilemma. Then actually in front of my study table, I had this quote: "If it comes easy, it's not worth it. If it's
Right.
worth it, it won't come easy." That was my like motivation throughout the journey.
Awesome.
And the other thing I'd like to tell you is, um, if if you want something great in your life, like if you want to stand on a great platform,
Mm-hmm.
universe will test you. Universe is going to test you for that. Are you worthy of that platform?
Right.
You need to go through that major turmoils or what whatever you call it. You need to go through it because I feel is If you have not fallen for enough time, you cannot stand with any offer.
That's so deep philosophy, Sneh, and that's really impressive. And uh, I bet so I bet now, like if I look retrospectively, those who have performed well in exams are not only are not only good at their academics, but they are also excellent as far as the cognition is concerned, and they are also like at very good at life. Like if you just look at the magnanimous view, so I'm so much inspired by this, and it's so good to have you, Sneh, once again. Um, so, like to continue on this, like, so what advice do you have now for the students? Like as you know that the step 1 is now pass and fail. So,
So me personally, I like to do metaphors to people so they can understand better. What
right,
I feel is step one is the base of the building that you cannot see actually, and step two examination or any steps are the building that is the structure you see outside. So it all depends on how well your bases are. As a step one
right,
basic science, it is exam of basic science obviously. And step two or step three or CS or actually doing practical work, that is the structure you see outside. So
right, right,
how
right,
well you build your basics or base of the building, it's gonna matter for step two. As we all know that all the program directors or anyone are going like they will focus on step two scores now. But if I take step one just to pass, then I'll give more time for step two examination. It's vice
right.
versa, obviously. I'll like if I have scored like very well in step one examination, then step two is like a matter of 4 or 5 months for me. Versus if I just pass the step one examination, then I'll donate my like 16 to 18 months for step two examination. So that is going to be same.
That's
That's what I
that's
feel.
That's very true. That's what even I feel that as, and I can completely correlate with this. Stronger the foundation you have, like let's say for a building, the great structures you can have on the top. So, how much ever you rush. Now these days, there's a trend going on. Okay, step 1 is pass and fail. Just read for 2 to 3 months, and you just get rid of step 1. But like what I feel like, if you rush in step 1, you will have to invest that time in step 2 or at
Obviously,
some point in your career. So
absolutely.
so it's just like changing the paradigm. Okay, it's just pass and fail, but the inputs
Yes.
doesn't change. That's perfect. Uh, so, Sneh, since USMLE journey is very long, okay, we started this from high school, like we ended up getting into medical school. We have ups and downs, and we make mistakes. We learn, and like during this, like ups and downs of our life, how do you like? How would you advise like students to be motivated?
I like to start with that. What I see with students who is preparing for an USMLE or any exam also, they fixed their beliefs. They think the 260 guy is different, 250 guy is different. I am average student. Once they fixed their beliefs, they are not gonna make it.
Right,
And I never fixated my beliefs. So it's very tough thing to break those beliefs they have because they never knew that they can do it. And
right,
if you like, I what I used to believe is if I want to achieve something, I have that thought in my mind. I have to feel it every day that I have achieved it. If I can feel it, then I can express myself to the outer world, and I am going to do it by free thought.
right. That's very good. Like people fixate their belief. Okay, I'm a mediocre student. This I don't do
Obviously,
well in university exams, or and they end up like asking, oh, do you think if I'm a mediocre student, I would be able to perform well in USMLE? So you mentioned a great point that you just don't fixate yourself in any categories and be just
obviously.
open and just fly like you. What you have done, awesome, man.
And
Uh,
the other thing I'd like to tell you about staying motivated is uh, I feel whoever is doing step one or any like USM examination, I put people into categories.
uh-huh.
The sprinter and the slow goer. Like the sprinter start the journey and just in the blink of the eye they complete the step one in 4 or 6 months and they
Right.
score great. and there are some they have head start. Like when they start their journey, they have this great energy, enthusiasm, and everything. And once they are in the middle phase, they just lost everything. It's like
Right.
I call it the zone of uncertainty. Sort of
Hmm.
you have started the journey, you cannot see your end line. So
Right.
you are just like you are in this unknown territory. You don't know what to do. So in this journey, what I believe is everyone should have this delayed gratification. No
Mm-hmm.
one is going to no one is going to be there to clap for you or have a pat on your back that you are doing great. Sneh. No one, no one. You need to clap for yourself in this whole journey.
Right.
And once you can see your end line, we have that adrenaline rush. Okay, I've booked my date, the job, I have to do it. So that's the middle phase that is worst, I would say.
Right.
So about staying motivated, particularly what I did about the mind thing, the mind finds distraction. We all know that. Let's say I'll give the example. Don't think of monkey for 5 minutes. You will think of monkey for entire 5 minutes. Our brains are not used to rule out the information. Like brain are wired that way that they gather information only. So we cannot selectively like just forget anything or like selective amnesia. That is not possible. So in journey, what I saw with myself and the colleagues are like that mind finds distraction. We want to use our phones, we want to go for a party, have a good lunch or dinner, talk to the friends or XYZ. So
Mm-hmm.
for that thing, I I just got rid of my phone, all the social media
Right.
because I had to like socially isolated. Uh, what I did was only my parents had the information about my contact, that's my phone number. No one
Mm-hmm.
else was there. Like you cannot call me or anything. The other thing I did is I started reading books. I have the whole list of the books like Fan Club, Study, then Karma, Inner Engineering, like the list goes on. So I actually Atomic Habits, then there are like 10 to 12 books that I read in those steps one page only, like 10 page or 5 pages. Then what I did was I used to do journaling. Like in every morning, I write some good one or two line about myself. Why am I doing this?
Right.
USMLE, like
Right.
what the
Right.
struggles and everything. And I used to hear one podcast. The name is Your World Within by Eddie Perano. That guy is just amazing.
Like
Most
which
of the
podcast you said? Can you say that again?
Your World Within.
Oh. Okay.
Like mostly my 60% of the words are from his
Okay.
actually. Then
Wow.
other thing I do is like I had a great study partner. And we used to talk, we used to discuss like everything. What I felt key, once you engage in a thought while you are studying or anything, your mind keeps in this loop in that
Right.
thought only. Like you cannot come out. So all
Mm-hmm.
you need to do is just like write it down or talk with someone.
Right.
I had that philosophy that if I have any thoughts stuck in my mind, I start my timer. You have 5 minutes. Do whatever you want to do, like cry or laugh or anything. Only 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, time stop. You are back to your work.
Right.
Done. So that was how I stayed motivated.
Awesome. We also like highlighted the things like how you should manage even if you get distracted. Like just break the chain of thoughts which you have running in your mind. That's so. Thanks for that advice again. So how would you comment on like managing relationships while studying?
So what I personally felt in my 2.5 year journey was that my parents didn't knew about the examination. They have
Right.
very limited knowledge what is good exam about. All they know is after doing this exam you can go to this. But they were the only person who actually understand me. In my whole like dedicated phase of last 6 or 8 months, I never had any lunch, dinner. or talk more than 5 minutes with my parents.
Right.
Still, they understood me. They never
Mm.
like argued with me that you are not doing your time or XYZ. While I had my colleagues, I had my other special person, you say, my friends. Even they were in medical field, they were not able to understand actual struggle of doing step one preparation.
Right.
At end of the day, it's about your family. That would I say. No one's gonna understand exactly.
Awesome. It's very important to stay stable, and like even though they don't understand, but they do understand that he is like you know in the process of doing something great. So even if they understand only this much, that okay, he's doing, he's like working at like its best and he's working hard, even that's I think more than enough, rather than if somebody is like constantly poking you, hey, how much did you read, how much question you did.
Actually,
So I think that's a better way, because they don't understand, but they do understand that they don't understand. So
actually.
so that's good. So what are your ending comments?
Okay, so I'd like to end with this thing is whoever is preparing, or like the most of the people who is watching this video are the people like students who are going to start their journey, or maybe they are in the middle or the end phase of the step one. So I'd like to tell only one thing to them, is that if someone in this whole vast world or earth, you would say, with two hands, with two legs, two eyes, two ears, one mouth can do it, then there's no doubt that you can. That's the
Right.
first thing I'd like to tell you. And other thing I like to share an experiment in 90s. Some American or German scientists did that. What they did, it's all about the hope.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they put rats on this to drown. So mostly average time they like survive for their life, like by swimming or anything, was 5 minutes. That was the average time for every mouse, every rat. And in other part, what they did at the bucket, what did they do? Like at the point the mouse are going to die, like they are like going to get unconscious, they just put them out of the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So like did this for 5 times or 10 times. So like the mouse who were on those buckets, they had this hope that someone is going to be there to bring me out. So the average time they survived, like by swimming, was 60 minutes.
Oh.
Incomprehensible 5 minutes versus 60 minutes, but that's true. The hope plays a great role. So just
Wow.
keep hoping for great things. And another thing I'd like to tell you is take breaks in your journey. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon. Go slow but go steady.
Awesome.
And particularly, I myself never followed anything 100%. You will get shocked that people used to revise whole the first aid plus word annotations like at least once or twice or maybe thrice. I don't remember before the
Mm-hmm.
theory.
Yeah.
In my whole journey, I bought first aid in 2019, and I took my exam on December 23rd, 2021. In whole journey, I'd say in particularly even one system, I never read from embryology to pharmacology in one go.
Right.
So I never covered my first aid cover to cover. Never.
Right.
So
Right.
everyone is different. Just follow what works.
True. True. True.
And
That's
last thing I'd like to tell you is have faith in God. Like, आप जिसको follow करते हो करो, but have faith.
awesome, Sneh. I really like the way you mentioned about how hope can sustain you. I'm like I really picked up all the things, like nobody is going to clap for you. It's you who are going to like who has to clap for yourself even in the time of uncertainty. Have faith, have hope that somebody, God will just get to do wonders. Like, and if you are a human with all the body parts, you can do that. I really liked all the philosophies, and it's uh, even in the like modern science, the meta-analysis have proved that it's the mental stability which matters the most if you want to attain great heights. Thank you so much for those inputs and wonderful values. I'm sure medical students would be very much inspired by your journey, and I'm sure there's a long pathway, and you have a very bright way ahead. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so much.
this.
And all the best, Dr. Apurva, for you too in this upcoming match. I wish for you that you get your ideal match.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sneh. Hoping for the best. Well, thank you so much for sparing your like valuable time to come here, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.